get the whole gamut. The high-pitched squeaking. Shall we? Okay. Let us. Shall I begin?
Yes, please. Okay. Let's stand. Welcome, Matovu.
Matovu.
Page 4.
Matovu.
Welcome, Bruchim Habayim. Welcome everyone to our Shabbat morning Sukkot service. Our children will be coming in and joining us. It is still a family service, but just as a heads up for what to expect, this is, we've come from the pared down afflicting our soul of Yom Kippur as we go into the heady physicality of Sukkot. And this service has it all. We get to bless and welcome a baby who really isn't a baby. Look at that looking at me already. We get to dedicate a new handmade Torah scroll binder that Linda will put on our new Torah scroll. I mean, not new Torah, that we'll put on the Torah scroll. And this binder will have names of babies born into the synagogue, of which the baby we're blessing today is on the inside of the scroll. You'll all be able to see it. We get to wave the lulav and etrog. We get to welcome our children in. So I'm just kind of pacing you so you know what to expect. This will not be a quiet service. But let's just have a moment of reflection before the children come in by offering a prayer for Torah study on the top of page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Now, so we're told, the Talmudic rabbis, the sages, talked about 3 miracles that happened in the desert as the Israelites wandered. And that period of the desert is really instructive to our identity as modern Jews. And these 3 miracles in the desert, you might be able to guess them yourself, is manna that fed the Israelites, that coriander-like fluff that turned into seed that could be made into bread and cake. The second was Miriam's well that provided water so that there was water to drink throughout. And the third miracle, we are told, is the covering of clouds that provided shade for the Israelites as they journeyed. And although we think normally of the Sukkot as the harvest booths that the Israelites lived in, but also our building of the Sukkah, there is an understanding that the Sukkah also mirrors and echoes those clouds that provided some kind of protection. And what is drawn out from this beautiful idea or this beautiful midrash is, why is it only that third miracle that deserves a holiday? If we're going to try and extrapolate from the clouds into Sukkot, how is there a full holiday that responds to the clouds? And the way the rabbis respond to it is that water and food were necessary, but clouds were a luxury to make life more comfortable, that protection. And in so doing, it was an expression of love, a gift. And so in a way, on top of everything else that Sukkot asks us to imagine, what is it to live in impermanence? What is it to live under this sukkah? How is it possible to connect ourselves to what came before? Alongside it is this idea of love, and that the sukkah reminds us of those moments in our lives where we got a little bit more than we needed. So I just want to give us those 3 miracles, the last one being clouds and the sukkah being connected. So as we sit and stand in our beautiful sukkah, I don't think the fairy lights will be of use today in the sunshine, but we can experience what it means when our guests come in, when our valued, precious guests, our ushpizin, come in, of what it means to sit outside in the Northern Hemisphere in autumn and to feel that memory, that echo of love. So we turn now and we are going to offer Elohai Neshama. We are going to speed straight on to Yishtabach now, page 8. I'm going to ask you to stand as we try and hold this balance to get to the point where we are arriving at Hallel as our children come in. So Yishtabach, page 8.
Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz Ki Lecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoteinu Shir V'Shvacha Halel V'Zimra Brachot V'Hodaot Me'ata Ve'ad Olam Baruch Atah Adonai Habocher B'Shirei Zimra.
Baruch Hu, page 10, as we call each other to pray.
Baruch Hu et Adonai
Sit down as we mark the Hatimot, just the final blessings of the two prayers that lead us, blessings that lead us into the Shema. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamorot. We praise you, O God, creator of light. And then the more intimate one that acknowledges us in relationship as a Jewish community. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher B'Amo Yisrael B'Ahava. We praise you, O God, in love you have called your people Israel to serve you. Shema, stand, sit, as is your minhag. Page 12. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Vahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol modecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavecha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shibtecha b'veitecha, u'b'lechtecha b'derech, u'b'shokbecha u'v'kumecha. Ukashatam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, ukatavtam al musot beitecha, u'visharecha.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Sit down, top of page 14, bottom of the first paragraph. Truly you are first, you are last, we have no redeemer but you. You've redeemed us from Egypt, freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you this song.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושי פלא.
שירה חדשה שיבחו גואלים, לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו.
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
we turn to the tefillah. In this instance, I think most of you have got 2 sidurim on your lap, so we're able to mark the special festival tefillah for Sukkot, and you can either use the full or you can go with me backwards and forwards as we fit in this moment. I do see lots around. Beverly, I think Suzanne did a good job giving out to everyone. So stand when you're ready as we go into the tefillah. You will need to be around page 460 in Lev Chadash for when we get there. We are not doing the full festival Amidah, but we will have a taste of it, particularly on page 463.
Adonai Shabbatai Tifta Uvia Giteilatecha. Adonai Shabbatai Tifta Uvia Giteilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem, Lama'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Machaye Meitim Atah Rav Lo Hoshia, Mashiv HaRoach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTam.
Mekadel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayeh Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Rofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umakayem Emunatom Lishenei Afar Mi Chamocha Ba'al Be'urot Umi Domelav Melech B'mid U'Chayei U'Matzmiach Yeshua.
Ne'eman atah lahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Machayeh hametim. So today on our family service, we captured the Kedusha by offering L'Dor Vador at the bottom of page 18, or if you're in Siddur Lev Chadash now, bottom of page 462.
Dovador, Dovador, Nagid Moed Lecha, Ulenetzach Netzakim, Kedushat Hanakdish, Dovador, Nagid God Lecha, Ulenetzach Netzakim, Kedushat Hanakdish, V'shivkacha Eloheinu, Binu lo yamush le'olam va'ed, Ki el melech gadol, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. L'Dor Vador, נצחים ולנצח נצחים קדושתך להקדיש. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש,
sit down as we acknowledge and celebrate Sukkot. We're on page 463 of Lev Chadash. Let's read together. You have given us a special task among the peoples. In your love and favor, you have sanctified us by your commandments, drawn us near to your service, and charged us to make known your great and holy name. In your love, eternal one, our God, you have given us Sabbaths of rest, feasts of joy, seasons of gladness, among them this Sabbath day and this festival of Sukkot, season of our gladness. Chag HaSukkot hazeh zman simchatenu. To unite us in worship and in remembrance of the Exodus from Egypt. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, ya'aleh v'yavo v'yizacher zichronenu. V'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, l'tova v'livracha, l'chaim u'l'shalom, b'yom Chag HaSukkot hazeh. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. This day remember us for well-being.
Amen.
Ufokdenu bo livracha. Bless us with your presence.
Amen.
Ufokdenu bo livracha. Ufahoshienu bo l'chaim. Grant, eternal God, let's read together, that our observance of the festivals may bring us blessing, happiness, and joy. Sanctify us by your commandments. Make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness. Gladden us with your salvation. And purify our hearts to serve you in truth. And grant, eternal God, that the joy of the Sabbath, the happiness of the festivals, may be with us always. Baruch atah Adonai Makadesh HaShabbat v'Yisrael v'Hazmanim. So now we offer Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu b'Amcha Yisrael u'tefilatam b'Ahavat Kabel u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otacha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. And as we offer this blessing of appreciation, of thanksgiving here on Sukkot, and no doubt for the Arlington family, for Zachary about to be blessed today, just bring it into your hearts what you feel appreciative for today. If our children were here already, we'd be asking you all to call out, but for now, just hold it as we offer. Modim anachnu lach. שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן ישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך נספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך, שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים, ברוך אתה אדוני, טוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. God, God of our ancestors, bless us all of us in this sanctuary, with the threefold benediction of the Torah. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha.
Yehi ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka.
Yehi ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Amen. Yehi
Oh,
Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol ha'amim. Sim shalom, sim shalom.
Baruch Ata Adonai Oseh HaShalom. We're going to go to Oseh Shalom, I think, today, just to be able to bring that joy in as the children are about to come in.
Oseh shalom bimromah, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Oseh shalom bimromah, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
So welcome, we're going straight to Hallel, a bit of waving. I'm going to ask for our Lulavim and Ephraim to come forward. Our children, maybe you'll kick off with the waving and pass around. We will be going through parts of Hallel as well as offering, as is our minchag, turn, 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 as our song for Sukkot. So on page 467, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al natilat lulav. We're going to save the Shehechianu. We offered it last night for the first waving, but we're going to save it and offer now, top of page 468, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. And we are going
to Psalm 117.
Psalm 117, which you can find on page 474. So let's stand and have some lulav waving. Stand with real model. Natasha, come forward. So we offer the blessing. Here it is again, muted. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Hallelu et Adonai kol goyim, shavku kol ha'umim, ki davar aleinu chasto, be'emet Adonai le'olam, hallelujah. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto, yom Adonai Yisrael, ki
So far, we've managed to only lose 1 pitom in the sitting. Oh, 2 now. Okay, right, okay. So we know that the one thing, as the story goes, of every child that's ever had an etrog is how do you preserve the little pitom that stops it just being a lemon and allows it to be an etrog. Lilybeth. It is, it's that tiny stalk and it's very easy to knock off. So it looks like we've already knocked 2 off, but you know, so be it, so be it. So our last Hallel song, which is super progressive, and as I reminded us last night, we are nothing if that. So turn to Dean and Natasha.
To everything that turns, there is a season that turns, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plan, a time to read, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to everything that turns. There is a season that turns, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything that turns, there is a season that turns, and a time to every purpose a time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time to may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything that turns, there is a season that turns, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time to hate, a time to peace. I swear it's not too late.
So I hope we are well waved. If you did not get a chance, it is never too late, as the saying goes. And we can even give you a musical backdrop if you need to do it at the end of the service. We are now going to go to the Torah service. As I said, we have a lot of celebration and dedicating today. We go back to our family service, Siddur, page 22, Shabbat B'Yachad. So children, stay here around the table because we're going to bring the Torah back. But Charlie from Ivriya, where is our Charlie? And Charlie and his brother Anthony are welcoming and blessing their baby brother Zach, who's not such a tiny baby anymore, as you can see, but he is still ripe for blessing. So we'll be having that in a moment. But for now, let us open the ark. We are reminded, all of us, in days to come, the mountain of God's house shall be established as the highest mountain, towering above the hills, and all the nations shall stream to it. Many peoples will go and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Eternal One, to the house of the God of Jacob, so that we may learn God's ways and walk in God's paths."
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Rudav
So we're on page 23. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu l'Adonai iti unoromama shemo yachdav.
Lecha Adonai Hagdula, Hagvura v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach v'halot. Kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, Lecha mitnaseh b'chol l'rosh.
So we take Torah very seriously here, and the instruction to bring it down from the mountain that is our art, and in our family service, we like to have the Torah down here so that everyone can look into it if they haven't already. Thank you, Simon. So feel free to sit down, everyone. I should just give you a little sneak preview. We have 3 Czech scrolls in our synagogue. This is not one of them that we're using. This is our everyday scroll. But this was the original binder, and Valerie tells us the story of the original binder and how Ruth Schaffer, Zichrona Livracha, who ran the Czech Memorial Scrolls, didn't want to give these binders out because people treated them so poorly, but she trusted our Valerie and allowed us to have it. And this is like such a precious one, but today we are going to dedicate our new Torah scroll binder. So at the end of our reading of Torah, we will ask Linda to put the new binder on. But for now, we'll just leave this to the side. So Ivriya children, is my microphone working? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Ivriya children, if you want to have a look inside Torah, I see you're all busy thinking about Ushpizin and who is coming into the sukkah. But for now, I would like to ask you to come and have a little peek inside here. And let me just make sure we're in the right place. Okay. No, let me just find. Okay, great. So straight after Sukkot, we are busy. I mean, straight in Sukkot, we are busy in our community, thanking people that have contributed so enormously to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And today it is my pleasure to call up to Torah today our musicians, 2 of our musicians, very precious to us, Franklin and Dean. Ya'amdu, Pesach, Melech ben Yitzhak v'Leah, v'Daniel Baruch ben Miriam, levarech et haTorah. I think I want to use that for the blessing, yeah? Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher b'chapanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten
HaTorah. Amen. We're in the book of Leviticus. We're in Parashat Emor. We are being reminded of all the rules of all the Hebrew Jewish calendar, of the festival. What festival are we in today? Just in case anyone missed that. Beatrix? Sukkot, thank you. What was the one we just had? Yom Kippur, brilliant. And the one before Yom Kippur? Oh my gosh, should we let Beatrix keep running with this? Go on, Charlie. Rosh Hashanah, thank you. So now we're being told all about Sukkot and what we have to do. And you're going to help us. And I know that Mike has overseen today that you are going to, maybe when we get inside the Sukkah, tell us who your special guest might be inside the Sukkah today. So Charlie, do you want to, Anthony, do you want to hold for me? Brilliant. Okay. Anyone else that would like to peek into our Torah scroll, you are very welcome. You don't need to be under the age of 13 to do so. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל לאמור, ב15 יום לחודש השביעי הזה, חג הסוכות 7 ימים לאדוני, ביום הראשון מקרא קודש, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו, 7 ימים תקריבו אישי לאדוני ביום השמיני, מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, והקרבתם אישי לאדוני, עצרת היא, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו. אלה מועדי אדוני אשר תקראו אותם מקראי קודש, להקריב אישי לאדוני. עולה ומנחה, זבח ונסכים, דבר יום ביומו, מלבד שיבת אדוני ומלבד מתנותיכם ומלבד כל נדריכם ומלבד כל נדבותיכם אשר תיתנו לאדוני, אך ב15, which is the 15th day, which is today, ב15 יום לחודש השביעי ואספתכם את טובת הארץ, תחוגו את חג אדוני 7 ימים, ביום הראשון שבתון וביום השמיני שבתון. לקחתם לכם ביום הראשון פרי עץ הדר, כפות תמרים וענף עץ עובד וערבי נחל, ושמחתם לפני אדוני אלוהיכם 7 ימים, והוגתם אותו חג לאדוני 7 ימים בשנה, חוקת עולם לדורותיכם, בחודש השביעי תהגו אותו, בסוכות תשבו 7 ימים. Did you hear the word Sukkot telling us to live inside the sukkah? 7 ימים כל האזרח בישראל ישבו בסוכות, למען ידעו דורותיכם כי בסוכות הושבתי את בני ישראל בהוציאי אותם מארץ מצרים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני אל בני ישראל. So let's get a sense of what we're being told, and we can almost tick it off and see if we're succeeding here in Finchley Progressive Synagogue today. And God said to Moses, saying, speak to all the children of Israel, telling them that on the 15th day of the 7th month, which is today, it will be the festival of Sukkot for 7 days for God. And on the first day, it should be a special festival, which is, of course, today. And no manner of work, so whatever you feel that you do at Ibria, we don't count it as work, we count it as super fun learning. No matter any kind of hard brain power you're using, we are definitely not counting it as work. So no manner of any work shall you do. And for 6 days you shall bring offerings of fire to God, and on the 8th day it shall be called a holy convocation, like it's going to be a special holiday, and you are going to bring fire to God, and it is going to be called an extra day, like a Shmini Atzeret, so an extra day for you. And again, no work should you do. These are going to be the holidays for God, and you are going to call it a holiday, like festival for God, a holy convocation. And you shall, this is the only thing that we no longer do, because Sukkot is one of the pilgrim festivals. And when there was a temple standing, everyone, no matter where they lived, would be bringing offerings to the temple in the best way that we could. Now we no longer have animal sacrifice. Everyone's very happy, I know. And instead we have prayer here, but we hold on to the idea of what we offer instead. So, the children of Israel are told that they have to bring offerings. Let me just find where we were. Fire offerings and meal offerings and goodwill offerings on this day that will be alongside this special Shabbat for God, alongside all the gifts, alongside the vows that you're going to offer, alongside the commitments that you are going to give and that you give to God. On this, the 15th day of the month, of the 7th month, as Charlie reminded us, begins with Rosh Hashanah, and you shall bring all, and you should gather, it's a harvest festival, you should gather your harvest in the land, and you should celebrate this holiday for, how many days is Sukkot for us? Just checking whether anyone's been listening. How many days? 7. Thank you, Charlie. 7 days. And on the first day, it shall be a special festival. And on the 8th day, it shall be a special festival where you're in synagogue. And you should take for yourself on the first day. So now we hear the rules for the lulav and etrog. I think the etrog's been put away, but let's have an etrog out next month so we can all be smelling it and reminding us. Fruit of the goodly tree, branches of date and palm, and branches from the myrtle tree and also the willow tree. So let's remind ourselves, Mike, so we can bring the etrog, and if someone can bring us a lulav as well, so we see what we're reading. And you bring them before the eternal one, your God, and for 7 days you are going to celebrate it as a holiday for God. 7 days every year, it will be a statute for all your generations. In the 7th month, you shall celebrate Sukkot. And what do? You have to live in your sukkah for 7 days. Every person who's part of the Israelite community, who's part of the Jewish community, gets to live, eat, whatever you want to do in your sukkah, so that you all know and remember, all of your generations, that it was in Sukkot, in these little huts, that the children of Israel, that God helped the children of Israel live in them, like during their journey in the desert, when God helped them come out of Egypt. And then God reminds everyone, I am the eternal one, your God. And Moses said or explained, these are the festivals for the children of Israel. So, get to right now, after Simon, I think, has raised the Torah for us, and we get to see what's inside it, and I will point to what we've read. I'm going to ask us to stand, and then we are going to dedicate our new scroll binder.
Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'avo Yisrael B'kedushato. He
seated for a minute as we do this really special thing, and I'm going to pass over to you, Linda, right now. You are just to say something about the design and why we chose to dedicate it on Sukkot with this beautiful design. So you'll see Linda is very careful.
Very.
Very careful. Last night we were not allowed to bring it out because all the children had had hot dogs.
Definitely.
So we were not having sausagey fingers on our new binder.
No.
Linda, over to you.
I didn't know I was going to speak, but never mind. Right, the theme, and this is why we're here today, are the 7 fruits of the Bible. So we have at the beginning, well, there isn't really a beginning, so this is the binder. It is a traditional, a traditional size that all the other binders are. And we start with the date palms, the olives, then the pomegranate, the vine is above the Hebrew, then we've got the figs and the wheat and the barley. And you say, why is all the colour in the middle? Because as an artist, I wanted what you call a bleed off. So the centre is the most important, not that the rest isn't. And the rest is a graduated colour. The colours are not true to the fruits. They're my design and sanctioned by Rebecca. And then, of course, on the back, we have 7 new names. Hopefully, we have at least room for 30 names. We had a plethora of babies in the last 18 months. And that's about it. I don't know, what would you like to say? And I made it, hopefully, a modern colour, something that would be very different to the striped one, the first binder that we had, which came with the check scrolls, which was the small children's binder. And then the next one was almond blossom pink. So this one is different. That's it. Anything else?
Oh, but I'm going to add something. This is exquisite. And Linda chose yellow, and the Hebrew words, Heye bracha, be a blessing. And we thought that is what we get from Torah, but that's also what we get and what we hope for our babies and the new people that grow up in the community. So we are going to put this binder on, but I want to just acknowledge who is here, because Brian is here and Joel Landis was our first baby on the binder, so Brian's grandson. And in a minute, and it feels so right, we are going to... Is he having a little nap? Right, he's having a nap in advance of his blessing. We like that very much. So in a minute, we're going to bless Zachary, and here is his name on the Torah scroll. So Linda, I'm going to let you... I'm obviously a bit nervous that Linda's not going to like my fingers on it. I haven't eaten sausages today.
It's not mine
I
anymore.
promise.
It's yours now.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to tuck this inside.
Yep, hopefully it fits.
I'm going to bring this over, but let's bring this properly in.
This is why there's no embroidery, because we've learned over 3 binders that you can't have too much embroidery or anything like this, because this tucks into the scroll. I don't want anything rough.
So as Linda does this, we are going to offer. This is what I waited for. There are many new things today, but we are going to offer the Shehechianu right now. It's beautiful. We'll just let Zachary just snooze a little longer as we honor those who built and created our sukkah this year to be able to Read from the book of Kohelet, from Ecclesiastes, always read at Sukkot. My teacher, Rabbi Jonathan Maganat, always used to say, Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, was either written by a teenager who knew nothing about life or a very cynical older person, and we can all decide which it is. So I would love to ask you up to be able to offer our Haftarah today. I'm thinking there is space that you could go up there now, as there's only one microphone on me. And then, while Zachary just gathers his energy, then we will be blessing him. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So shall I let you do the blessing? Okay.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנביאים טובים ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק.
We'd add the Kitvei HaKodesh, the holy books of the writings. Thank you. Let me get out your way.
הבל הבלים אמר קהלת, הבל הבלים הכל הבל. מה יתרון לאדם בכל עמלו, שיעמול תחת השמש, דור הולך ודור בא, והארץ לעולם עומדת.
Okay, well, we're continuing on page 448, and if we can read responsively, please. The sun rises and the sun goes down.
And hastens to the place where it rises.
The wind blows to the south and veers round to the north.
Round and round goes the wind, circling back to where it begins.
All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full.
To the place where they flow, they continue to flow.
All things are full of weariness.
Weariness beyond description.
The eye is never satisfied with seeing.
Nor the ear filled with hearing.
What has been will be, and what has been done will be done.
And there is nothing new under the sun.
For everything there is a season,
And a time for every purpose under heaven.
a time to be born,
And a time to die.
a time to plant,
And a time to pluck up what is planted.
a time to kill,
And a time to heal.
a time to break down,
And a time to build up.
a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn,
And a time to dance.
a time to cast away stones,
And a time to gather stones together.
a time to embrace,
And a time to refrain from embracing.
a time to seek,
And a time to lose.
a time to keep,
And a time to discard. A time to wend. And a time to sow. A time to keep silence. And a time to speak. A time to love. And a time to hate. A time for war. And a time for peace. The end of the matter, all having been heard, revere God and keep God's commandments, for that is the whole purpose of human life. Amen. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק.
Amen. Yeshakah. Thank you for our beautiful sukkah, which we will be in a moment. So let's stand as we prepare to put our scroll away. And children, you can help us do that. We take from you, Simon. So I'm just going to, as we stand now, just before we open the ark, think of those who are unwell in our congregation. We think of all those who are either looking after someone who is not well and needs that strength and acknowledgement, or those who are unwell themselves. We think this morning of Judy Pressberg, of Renee Barnett, Sarah Rosen Webb, Corinne Oppenheimer, of Robert Slater, of Robert, partner of Erica, and stepfather of Miriam, and Deborah, and Hadass Dweck. Are there other names that we would like to bring into the congregation this morning? Peggy Sherman. Okay. May all those who are unwell feel the love and support from this community. May they feel the healing powers, refuah shlema, of full healing, if that is what they need for themselves. May we think of them, may we hold them in our hearts. May we as a congregation never turn away from our responsibility to be aware and to be responsive to those that need us. Before I call you up again. So feel free to sit down. So we now, in this festival of harvest, of really thinking of what we have, we get to bless our not quite newest member of the congregation, because Zachary has waited for his baby blessing. So we're going to say, if you'd like to follow me using some of the prayers on page 588. So God of all generations, as we welcome this child into our community, although I should say Zachary has attended many a baby group, he's very au fait with everything that happens in our congregation. We share in the happiness and gratitude of Jenny and Simon, his parents, of Anthony and Charlie, his brothers, of his grandparents, both here and at home. In Bulgaria, we really are thinking of all the family and celebrating with you. And we know that it is the sacred duty of every generation of Jewish families to cherish its teaching and to pass on to the next generation, so that Zachary will hold on to both his cultures and build a better world as he grows up for future generations. But we'll just allow him today to relax a bit. So I'm going to ask Zachary to come up now with his family. Baruch haba v'shem Adonai berechnuchem mi beit Adonai. I have to say, we've never had a sleeping baby for a baby blessing, but there is a first for all. Obviously, we create a very safe, comfortable space for our little people to be able to. It's okay. He can sleep through it. We're adoring this. This feels very lovely. So I'm just going to offer the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam gomel chasadim tovim, where we bless for all the goodness, the thanks for this healthy baby, for your healthy pregnancy, which probably feels like 25 years ago, but it wasn't, and for this healthy Zachary in our midst. So I'm just going to ask you, Simon, and if Jenny can also, to just read this in English, here and here.
May we show our gratitude to you by leading our son in the way of righteousness. Teach us so to guide him, especially by our example, that he may grow up to be a good Jew and a good human being.
He's already doing that very well, isn't he? He is already doing that. So we're just going to hear two things from the parents as a blessing. So Simon, whoever wants to go first. So if I turn the microphone, you will be picked up.
It's just something very short for Zach and for everyone else in our family. And it's to have a happy, successful, long and healthy life full of love.
Could you say it in Bulgarian too?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, go on.
So in Bulgarian, it's да си жив и здрав, успешен, дълголетен и щастлив.
We can say amen to that, can't we? We can definitely say amen to that. So Simon, you were going to offer a blessing on behalf of you and the other boys in the family.
Yeah, I have a short reading.
Yes, absolutely.
And I won't do it in Bulgarian, I'm afraid.
No, okay, fair enough.
So, every person born into this world represents something new, something that never existed before, something original and unique. It's the duty of every person to know and consider that he or she is unique in their particular character, and that there has never been someone like them before. For if there had been someone like them before, there would be no need for them. Every single person is a new thing in the world and is called upon to fulfill their particularity in the world.
And that is what Zach is going to do. Some of you have never met him awake. I have. He is the most adorable baby, and this is going to go down in this child's history that he was blessed and managed to stay asleep throughout. This says a lot for you as a family of how you manage sleep. Clearly. I'm going to ask all of us to stand as we offer the naming blessing for Zachary, and a custom that I learned as a student rabbi from Rabbi Jeffrey Newman, who taught me that what he did when babies were blessed in his congregation was that the babies got paraded around the synagogue like the Torah scroll, which we don't parade around our synagogue. So instead of parading our Torah scroll, Zachary with his family is going to be paraded around, and you get to lay a hand on, offer a blessing as we sing Simon Tov and Mazel Tov. So Charlie and Anthony, you are setting wonderful example for your baby brother. I've watched him watching you and seeing how important you are as these two big brothers, and no doubt he wants to do everything that you two are doing. So today we get to bless him. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, kayam et hayelet hazeh la'aviv u'li'imo, v'yikareh shomo v'Yisrael, Zachary ben Shimon v'Jenny. Yismach ha'av v'yotzeh chalatza v'tagel imo b'fri bitna, ze hakatan gadol yihye, kashem shenichtav levriat ken yechanes letorah u'lechuppah u'lema'asim tovim. God of our mothers and God of our fathers, sustain this little boy through his parents' loving care. Let his name be known among our people and this congregation as Zachary, son of Simon and Jenny. And he'll be known as Zach, won't he? Known as Zach. May his name be a source of joy to him. Inspire him to serve our people and all humankind. May his parents rejoice in his growth of body and soul, as they have brought their son into the covenant. So may they, with wisdom and patience, lead him in a life full of Torah, of blessing and learning and community, a loving relationship worthy of God's blessing, and ma'asim tovim, the pursuit of worthy and kind deeds. And let us say, Amen. And a tiny little blessing. It's a mystery when he's going to wake up. It's just like he's going to wake up just as we're blessing him, or as he's being paraded, and then like it might be a bit of a shock for him. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and look after you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem No, I missed out. Oh gosh, let me just have it with me. There's too much going on today. Too much going on. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'eh Adonai panav elecha v'yihunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lacha shalom. May God bless you and look after you. May God turn to you and be very kind to you. And may God turn to you and give you peace and ease, just like this, always. And let us all say, Amen. Now, surely, now.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov,
Lead them around the room. Around that way.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov,
Managed to stay asleep through it all. This is a first. Zachary has set a challenge to all babies that follow him. Aleinu Ein Od, page 20, as we go towards the end of the service.
Ein
Kaddish, we think of all those who are remembering and mourning a yahrzeit at this time. We think this morning of Alan Kinchin, father of Paula Kinchin-Smith, grandfather to Jacob and Asher. We think of Baruch Levy, father of James Levy and grandfather of Oscar Levy. Of Bessie Sampson, Basha Bat Dov Ba'er, mother of Valerie Boyd Hellner. Of Beverly Besser, niece of Frank Hellner, Rabbi Frank Hellner. Of David Pelham, husband of Anne and father of Ollie. Of Isadora Goldsgame, mother of Angela Wharton and grandmother of Abby. Martin Dweck, brother of Debbie Dweck. Of Ruth Hillmore, wife of Jeffrey Hillmore. Of Sidney Harris, father of Amanda Hamilton. Sylvia Mendoza, mother of Jane Mellons, and Uli Adler, aunt of Leslie Urbach. May their memories be for a blessing. May those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we turn to the words of the Kaddish together. Page 23. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra hirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'haya kon v'yomechon, v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala b'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Morach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kodesha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiram v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol b'nei Adam v'imru amen. So we're going to sit down, and as Kiddush is taken outside to the sukkah so that we can have our Kiddush in the sukkah, and Beverly just reminds us a few announcements. Can I ask Anthony and Charlie to just come and get Zach's baby naming certificate, start children off the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. This is to certify that Zachary Dan Arlington was given the Hebrew name of Zachariah and welcomed into our community. So maybe if whoever is, and you can take them back. So maybe we'll just any of our helpers to take out Kiddush outside into the sukkah so that we go straight to the sukkah for Kiddush now. Beautiful Kiddush from the Arlington family.
Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. Mazel tov to the Arlington family, and it's been wonderful to share this occasion with you all. Thank you to everybody who took part in the service, our wonderful musicians, Dean Franklin and Natasha, Rabbi Rebecca, and everybody who had a mitzvah or took part in any way up on the bimah. Thank you to Etty, Bobby and Annabelle for this beautiful sukkah. When you go out there, if you haven't seen it last night, you will see how amazing it looks. Thank you to Suzanne for welcoming in Kiddush, and our tech desk people, Michael and Paul, and Josie for online hosting. Just a reminder, again, please look at your weekly email for all our community announcements. Our normal weekly activities are listed, their times, their links if they're on Zoom, etc. To remind you that on Thursday night, we have the second of our events for you to come and hear about our Renewing Our Home plans. We'll be here from 7 o'clock for a glass of wine or a soft drink and some nibbles and to hear about the plans. So please come along, ask the questions you want to ask. And then Friday night, Simchat Torah begins. And we are celebrating in a special way because it's our 70th anniversary with 6:30 service. And then again on Saturday at 11 o'clock. On Saturday morning on the 7th at 10:15, it is our Shabbatot service. So please, if you are relevant age group, come along. Or even if you feel young at heart, I'm sure Natasha will entertain you as well. And And you are welcome to any of our events. All the information and all LJ events are on here, and how to book for Judge Ringer on the 2nd of November. So thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. Most of Kiddush will be out here, but some of it will be in here as well, because you can, oh no, it's all going outside. I'm getting waved at. Okay. So please join us in the Sukkah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And let's finish with a Don Olam as we start moving out to the Sukkah.